Yo, what's up, gamers? So, today I kind of wanted to talk about the Switch online Famicom controllers. I think they're pretty sick. And I feel like I see a lot of people dismissing these as just being a collector's item, something you just buy because it's going to go up in price, or to just throw on a shelf, keep it as like a little piece that looks cool. Because, I mean, these do look pretty dope, not gonna lie. But I think they go further than that. I have enjoyed using mine a ton, way more than I ever expected, because it kind of made me realize something. When I want to have that authentic experience when playing a retro game, the only thing I really care about is the controller I'm playing with. Since it's like, I didn't grow up playing games on like a PVM or with like a good upscaler and OSSC, all that stuff. I never had great video quality. I played games on my tiny shit CRT over RF and then composite. I had awful video quality, but I played with one of these. And I don't really care if I play on original hardware anymore, because I already swapped away from using real cartridges and just use EverDrives. I got used to just playing a bunch of stuff on emulator because, I mean, it's effectively the same game, at least to me. So all I care about is the controller, and this gives me the experience I had when I was a kid. Obviously, I grew up in America. I grew up in the United States. So when I grew up, I played on an NES, not a Famicom. But when I was pretty young, I got interested and I learned Japanese and I started collecting and playing a bunch of Japanese video games. So I did early on have a Famicom, and this gives me that same experience. And to the same extent, I assume pretty much anyone who buys the NES controller who had an NES as a child, because I had an NES as a child, I loved playing like Zelda 2, Mario 2, Contra. Those are some of the games I played the most. And obviously, Contra's not on Switch Online, it's in its own collection, but I can get the experience I had with as a kid just with this controller. It's $60, and I think that's really reasonable for what it is. You get the two controllers, and for not a whole lot more. People mention that, hey, just get a Pro controller. It's got gyro, it has more buttons, it'll play everything. And for this, you really are probably just going to play NES games with it. Oh, let's be real. It works for other stuff, but that's not what you're using it for. So why would you pay that much extra just to play NES games? And it's for the experience. I really do enjoy playing NES games so much more on that controller than I do on my Pro controller. Even though Pro controller, no problems playing games with it. So if you did not grow up with an NES or a Famicom, I don't think you're going to get much out of this. So it's a specific product for a specific niche. But for the people who want that classic experience, I think this shit's Kino. It's even cuter too, because on the two-player for the Famicom, it does have the mic built in and fully functional playback audio through the TV. So it functions really well. All of the microphone support and functionality in games like Kid Icarus and... God, what else even supports it? I can't even really think off the top of my head. Zelda 1, Kid Icarus. It's a dumb, pointless feature that adds basically nothing to the games it even is in, but I mean, it's cool that they made it work. And I think for the price, it wouldn't have even needed to work. That price is enough to bait me into my nostalgia, because it's not just nostalgia baiting. It legitimately is making me enjoy these games even more. And here I have the Mega Man Legacy Collection 1 and 2 pack. Playing Mega Man 9 and 10, they feel like they were made to be played on an NES or a Famicom controller. I love playing Mega Man 9 on this. It's perfect. It's my favorite input method for the game. And one other interesting thing I thought about the L and R buttons on this, while on Switch Online, it's exclusively going to be for home, share, as well as bringing up the Switch Online menu options in the Mega Man collections. You can actually they just read as L and R buttons, so you can bind them to whatever you want. So in Mega Man 10, you can do quick weapon swapping. And even Mega Man 7 feels pretty damn good on this. So, highly recommend it. It's made NES and Famicom games a ton of fun for me. It has made Mega Man 9 stand out even more as one of my favorite games in the whole Mega Man series. So, great controller for anyone who grew up with an NES or a Famicom. Very, very highly recommended. I think the only complaint I have with it is it feels really awkward and stupid to have to charge the controller as a Joy-Con, because it's also like, what the hell do I do with this now? No, this is just sitting around, so I don't know. That's a minor complaint, and I think it even is kind of cute in a way. Just how stupid this looks. It's one of those things that's like so dumb you can't help but say like, that's kind of epic. But yeah, a legitimate complaint for people want to charge it. The SNES controller just charges over USB-C, but I don't know. I kind of like this. I think it's cute. I think it's neat. Definitely worth the money. I think the 8-bit dough shells are either talking out their ass or just not very nostalgic for this stuff. They're the people who will play a game with any controller and just be content. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're just going to play NES games in handheld mode with the Joy-Cons and you're having a blast, more power to you. But for people like me, love these controllers. Great purchase. So that's all I wanted to say for today. Take it easy, gamers.